I need you to know that you have a blueprint on your heart. You have something different in you than anyone else in the world. Now, that thing might lay dormant, or it might be put into action, into life. It all depends upon you. It depends upon your willingness to show up in this world. The things that make your heart sing, the things that make your heart ache, the things you want to make a difference in this world, that you want to stand up for, the book that you thought about writing, or maybe that business you want to start, or the charity that you want to create or get involved in. No one's going to say you're ready. The only person to give yourself permission to do those things is you. One of my favorite things to work with my clients is help them write books. I've helped more than a dozen people have the confidence and the courage to write their first book. I love helping people start new businesses, create money from nothing. This idea that they didn't think that they could do, that they realize that they can, because we all have within us the blueprint of confidence. We all have within us the courage that we need. We know we're gonna fall down, but we also all learned how to crawl and walk and then move. And I'll tell you this, you can do it. You have the courage to do anything that's on your heart. Now, here's the secret sauce. Here's what I'm talking about on episode number 297 of the Confidence Podcast. So we're talking about how to make a difference when you don't feel ready. And I think a lot of us wait to make a difference. A lot of us wait for that thing that we want to do because we think we need to be ready. We think we need to learn more. We think we need to be skinnier or prettier or smarter or more connected, or that we need to have more time. But the reality is none of those things are ever going to feel enough for us to take the action. So stop waiting for permission and let's give ourselves permission to be enough now. Because when you know that you can make a difference, but you sit on the sideline waiting for permission, it's never going to be your time to get in. And as a result, the world suffers. I want to encourage you to have the courage to say, if not who? If not me, then who? If not now, then when? Why not? Why not? Why couldn't I make a difference? What if my little could have a compound effect to be something huge? This might be even making a difference in your own life by following through on your goals. I'm not sure what difference that you want in your life right now, but I know that you're ready. I know that you're ready. And that's why I have episode number 297 of the Confidence Podcast for you. I interview one of my good friends, Lauren Freyer, she and her husband, 10 years ago, when they were teenagers, they decided that they could make a difference helping impoverished Kenyan children, one child at a time. And as a result, they've helped hundreds of children from a different continent while they're raising 3 young kids. And I'll tell you, I had a great conversation you'll hear on the podcast. And you think, well, you have a lot of excuses, a lot of reasons not to be able to do this. How did you get past the overwhelm? How do you make a difference when you don't feel ready? And Lauren's answer was, you just try. You just take a step forward. You just show up. So I want to know, what difference do you want to make in this world? What difference well, let me rephrase that. What difference do you want to make in your life right now, your personal life? What changes do you want to make? Now, what changes do you want to make in the community around you? What is it that your voice wants to speak up for? What is that book that's in your heart? What is that relationship that you want to see changed? And I want you to know you're never going to feel ready. We'll wait for the world to tell us that we're ready. We're not going to be blossom. I'm so happy that this was what you're supposed to be hearing today. And I want to know, what difference do you want to make? What is that thing that you're ready for? And if you guys are listening and this is encouraging you, make sure you share this video. Comment on the video, share. Let's get this truth in front of more people, that we can't keep waiting on the sidelines of life for life to happen. We are the light in this world to shine. You got to turn your own light on, baby. It is time to say, I'm never going to feel ready enough, but I know that the teachers I need will come when I need them. That's one of the coolest things about life. When we decide to step out of our comfort zone, we step into the discomfort, all of a sudden the resources flow to us, the opportunities, the teachers, the books, all of the support we need is there. But we don't know that until we take a step there. And so if you have a dream, if you have an idea, if you have a change you want to make in your life or a difference you want to make in this world, you have a big goal, but you're like, I'm not ready. then this episode 297 of the Confidence Podcast is for you. You, of course, can listen to the Confidence Podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or directly on my website, trishblackwell.com/297. Of course, as always, Confidence Podcast is a free resource. Thank you for that heart. And in the episode, we talk about how to make a difference when you don't feel ready. I'm telling you, this conversation with my friend Lauren, who is interviewed in the show, and as you'll hear, I was blown away. I actually asked myself, and I'm an action taker, right? I pride myself and my clients in our community of the College of Confidence, which is my group coaching program. We talk all the time about how we are action takers, and we do some crazy things together. I've helped so many people believe that they can do the things that they've dreamt of doing, and then they do it. And it's so interesting, even if you're an action taker, to look and go, wow, where am I still waiting for permission in my life? What goal or what difference am I still saying, well, I would love to make a difference, but life's too busy right now, right? Or I want to do this, I'm doing all of these things and I want to do that, but I'm not ready because of blah, 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 blah. Now, sometimes that's true. But one of the things I was thinking about for myself, I have told myself, well, I'm going to do that thing when my kids are older. Do you know how old Lauren's kids are? 3 and 1. But wait, so that's the same age as my kids. Yet she's changing the lives of impoverished children in Kenya because they believe that no child should die from treatable illness. Lauren doesn't just have a 1-year-old and 3-year-old. She's got 2 1-year-olds and a 3-year-old. She's got twins. And I love that. I love that because to me, it's this reminder of, yeah, life is crazy. Yeah, life is, but if I can work, if I can write something that helps save the life of a child, my hour of lost sleep is worth it. If you can make a change that forever changes your body, forever changes your life, forever changes your small segment of the world, then wouldn't you say that that's worth the sacrifice you make to do it? Isn't that worth the fear of stepping into this unknown? And you know, we are wired for love. We are wired for love. And every decision we make, we are either walking in fear or walking in love. We were walking in fear, my friends. We are not walking as the best version of ourselves. We cannot shine light in this world because we're shining fear. If you walk in love, even though love is scary, right? It's scary to step into the unknown, but you are loving yourself, your blueprint of who you are. You're trusting God enough to say, you put this idea in my heart. You've got me this support, this encouragement. I'm going to believe that I can show up and do it. I'm going to step out and take a step of faith and ignore the fear and choose love. Then you're going to start living out the blueprint of who you're meant to be. And that's the whole essence. You are never going to feel ready for anything that you want to do, for anything that you want to do for yourself, but also anything you want to do for this world. So why keep waiting? Let's just start, right? Like you can start your New Year's resolutions now. You can start any change you want now. You can start retraining your thoughts now. You can start the grassroots of making a difference by writing that book that's on your heart, by sharing your story, by working with a coach to get your courage up to speak up for yourself. Like, I know you've got something on there, and in your heart, it was sown into you, it was breathed into you by God. Like, that's why I get passionate about this. These aren't willy-nilly ideas that, oh, maybe I should do it. You are the only person in the world to be able to be you. You're you for a reason. And you're never going to feel ready to do that big calling of yours, that take that step. You're never going to feel ready to jump off that diving board. Like, it's okay. Do it anyways. Do it anyways. And know that when you practice taking action when you don't feel ready, you are teaching yourself courage. You're teaching yourself that you are an action taker. That is what you do. And my coaching clients and my College of Confidence members know this. We think of ourselves as action takers. And I want to invite you to think of yourself with that type of character as well, because it is game changing when you realize you are somebody who takes action even when you're scared, because you don't buy into fear, you buy into love. You are somebody who loves yourself enough to say that what's on your heart matters and that you can make a difference in this world. You're someone that loves others enough to say, I'm willing to be uncomfortable to do that thing that scares me because I know it's going to make a difference. Cassie, I'm fired up too this morning. I think something must be in my coffee this morning. But I hope that you guys, again, the conversation on this continues on the podcast. So please make sure you listen to this episode, How to Make a Difference When You Don't Feel Ready. It's episode 297 if you're just tuning in. And you get that anywhere you listen to podcasts or trishblackwell.com/297. Make sure you share this video. If this is inspiring you, encouraging you, tag a friend who needs to hear it. And let's get together to shine more brightly. The other thought I wanted to share with you guys was that the more we practice not feeling ready in the small details, the more we strengthen our courage and confidence, our muscles. They are decisions. It's not that she just happens to be outgoing and confident because she's extroverted. No, you choose to train these things within yourself by doing exactly what we're talking about on this episode, number 297 of the Confidence Podcast. By doing things when you don't feel ready, by knowing you can make a difference, even if you're like, but I'm not qualified yet. You know how you become qualified? By stepping into creating an experience for yourself to be qualified. Our experience qualifies us. Our hearts qualify us. Our desire to help others qualifies us. Our desire to make change and change the way we see ourselves, to see that we are people who follow through, that we can start loving ourselves and being more kind to ourselves. That all that makes change. And I want to share a small example with you about one way I practice being ready when I'm not ready. And many of you know that I take ice skating lessons. I'm in private ice skating lessons, and this is something I started at 35 years old. So you're never too old to start something new, a new hobby, and it's been tremendously fun. And there's a couple different moves and turns and things that my teacher is teaching me, and it's so exciting. But it's scary. It's hard. When you fall on the ice, it is not fun. I got some crazy bruises. And when I overthink something and I don't feel like I'm ready, my toe pick trips me up on the ice and I fall. But if I gotta do my move for you. When I'm positioning my body as if I'm ice skating, right now I'm working on backwards crossovers, and you have to, it's this flow movement. But if I think about it, I'm not ready and I fall. But if I tell myself, I'm not ready, and I go, cool, do it anyways, all of a sudden I flow, I do it beautifully. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is that is one way I do something that scares me. I'm doing something that when I'm like, oh, you're not ready. Oh, what if you fall? Do it anyways. I say, do it anyways, because I know that my ice skating, the practice of doing that is making me more confident, more courageous in the larger sphere of life. So you can practice being ready to make a difference when you don't feel ready by raising your hand today when speaking up in that meeting you might be having, by starting to write the book that you've been thinking about for 3 years, by telling somebody that come hell or high water, you're losing 100 pounds this year. By putting yourself out on the limb just a little bit, by leaning into it, please applaud yourself. We are celebrating baby steps because it's baby steps that change the world at a time. You will hear in my interview with Lauren that it is the one child changed the path of this family's life. One child in Kenya it's moved somebody's heart so much that from the other side of the world, they've started a nonprofit in their free time, by the way. They've started a nonprofit, and they're changing hundreds of lives of children who are impoverished and without that support would be dying. So it doesn't have to be a huge charity idea, but it does just have to be something that starts it. That charity started with one child, with one story, with one person who pulled our heartstrings and said, I can help this person. One small thing you can do can have a tremendous impact on everything else in your life, for yourself and for others. So whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, I dare you today to comment below and tell me about it. And you're going to be scared. I know that. I'm going to applaud that and celebrate that. Because the more you get used to being scared, the more you're walking in love. Because you're saying, I'm not somebody who's going to walk in fear. I was wired for love, and I'm going to live out that blueprint to the fullest. And when you're walking in love, here's what's cool. You can't go wrong. You can't fall. You will fall, but it's like falling into clouds. You're walking in love, right? And it's going to be hard, but that's okay because you can do hard things. So here's how we get, how do you do what you want to do? How do you make a difference in this world? How do you show up for yourself? How do you make a difference in your own life when you don't feel ready, or when you feel like you've been trying, but you're not seeing the results? Well, you just start. And then you also listen to this episode. Listen to the podcast episode. I promise it's going to be worth your time. And I can't wait to hear your feedback. Make sure you share this video, and I'll see you guys on the podcast airwaves. trishblackwell.com/297. And I want to hear about what's that difference that you want to make. What's the dream in your heart Be bold, share it.